Program, viewer discretion is advised.
Now to absorb some local color through the magic of AM radio.
Harkens me back to my youthful, careful days on the playgrounds of Forest Park School and my gifted days.
And what you're gifted, all right. What were you gifted at?
Well, I guess I had some issues.
Detention?
There. Yeah. When my dad told me I wouldn't plan on going to Harvard anytime real soon.
You're going to have to get in touch with me. We're gonna link all the volunteers via satellite cell phone so that we can put out the message immediately, because you remember the problem we had in January. We had to have Governor Walker come in with the National Guard. It was horrible.
Steve, listen to me. Bring your own microphone because you lost this one.
Okay, Captain Ron, you've been doing this so well for the last few weeks. So go ahead and make my day.
Oh, great one with the magic pen.
Oh, boy, he wants that microphone forever, doesn't he? Now, you got to visualize it. We put a statue of Pete on this. Put him in wearing like a hard hat and flannel shirt, tool belt, snow shovel.
You mean like from the Village People?
Yeah, yeah. A couple of...
Now, wait a minute here.
Good morning, Kenosha. This is Uncle Scotty Barter, and welcome to the all-new Kenosha Today Weekly Report, coming to you live from Studio A here at WLIP AM 1050 on your radio dial, streaming across the soggy cornfields of the Midwest, reaching out to over 50,000 homes here in the Tri-County area. Being brought to you this morning by the Boathouse Pub and Eatery, Casey Family Options, and a host of very fine other local businesses. Rejoining us this morning after being away on assignment last week, or Saturday, you cannot stop them. You can only hope to contain them. The big dog, little Stevie Casey, is back in our Kenosha Today trolley barn.
Good morning.
I brought your A game again.
You're keeping me awake. Good morning, Mr. Barter. Pleasure to be back, always.
We got lots to talk about after I introduce the rest of our fine crew here. Joining us this morning.
They're a crew, all right.
Motley.
These guys make us what we are.
Yeah.
Oh, don't blame me. Don't blame me.
That's my point.
Joining us this morning, our video coordinator, Channel 14's Volunteer of the Year, Captain Ronnie Muttersbach, joins us here at Camp Happy Face.
Good morning, Captain Ron. How are you today?
Doing good.
Wonderful.
Out. Happy? Yep.
Some real banter there.
Yeah, you can continue. You can take as much time as you want telling us how you are, because I got nothing today either.
Went to the Shirley School of Content, I see over there. Wow.
We had a production meeting with Scotty last night.
Oh yeah, we were.
Oh boy.
Let's not go there.
Let's not go there. I didn't get my phone call last night.
And engineering the Kenosha Today train wreck this morning, 6-time WLIP Employee of the Month, and also the head roofer over at the Southport Beach House. Woo-hoo! Pistol Pete Sargent is here and alert as ever.
We had to refoam after some of the rain the other night, but we got it done. It was okay.
For those that haven't heard, we are here now each and every Saturday morning from 10 to noon, bringing you 2 solid hours of rock'em, sock'em stuff. You know, I ran into Donut Dave last night.
You know what? I got some news for Donut Dave.
Okay, but here's what
Since you're on a health kick.
Since you're on a health kick and you lost
Peaches and cream hot cereal.
That's only about 70 calories.
Measuring cup. There we go. Okay.
Well, he wanted me to specifically give you that because he gave.
I got breakfast too over here. Yeah.
Now, how do you end up with butterfly cakes and I end up with
Health issues.
Health issues.
hot cereal, peaches and cream oatmeal?
You were in the hospital. You were supposed to be on a bland
Oh, look
diet.
at that. You get 2 in a package, and they got little sprinkles on
Oh,
there.
yeah, absolutely.
All right, here you go, Ronnie. Yeah, spread the wealth. Scotty in here. There you go, sure.
Little Stevie's
Oh,
drooling.
I gotta tell you.
Thanks, Donut Dave. You have an issue with Donut Dave? Go ahead.
Yeah, if Donut Dave drives by the marina this morning and he looks in my slip, he'll see a sailboat. I'm in the water first. I beat him this year.
It's not necessarily the way I heard it last night.
Oh, yes, it is.
Well, that's your story. There's 2 sides to every story.
You sunk his boat. No.
Maybe that's why he gave you this.
Maybe.
He paid off his bet.
Yeah,
Even Steven, right?
Well, there you go.
Also coming up after the 11 o'clock break, the Kenosha Today Top 10 list. And if you got, we're going to talk about a variety of topics. 262-694-1050. I guess the first order of business, little Stevie, is the big announcement here at WIP this week.
Yeah, you know what?
Next Tuesday,
we're being pulled up to the major leagues.
I thought this was the major.
We got
leagues.
the. Oh no, this is Bush League. This is Bush League. The only one major in this crew is Pistol Pete over there.
Well, you're going to tell the folks what the announcement is?
Yeah, the announcement is you and I are sitting in and guest hosting for Lenny Palmer, who's taking a week's vacation, and we're going to be covering his Tuesday morning shift from 9 until noon. Get a load of that.
I'm not sure what the thought process is.
I'm not
management
sure
here
what
at
it is
Dippity
either.
What are they thinking?
I said,
Well, killing time. That's what that's the business we're in here.
Were we the first call that they made or the 10th?
I don't know. Let's take a call here. Or we just drew the short straw there, maybe.
Apparently.
Good morning. You're on Kenosha Today.
Good morning.
Hi, Shirley. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Aren't you excited about Scott and I hosting the Lenny Palmer Show?
I am. Oh my gosh, that should be really.
Well, it should
Really
be
what?
three more hours of riveting radio.
I can't wait to hear you.
You know, I think
I said there was a run on cassette tapes this week. All the recording that's going to be going on.
we took this.
Oh, sure. They'll have to record 3 hours.
3
worth of
hours.
us.
We took the Brian Williams journalism to an all new level.
Yeah,
And that's why they're giving
absolutely.
us- We'll have to call him and.
Yeah, I think we finally hit the major leagues.
And our special guest, and the last hour from 11 to 12, be City Administrator Frank Passetti.
Yeah, we're gonna have Frank Passetti in to answer some questions about city issues and go from there. But that's kind of exciting, Shirley, isn't it?
Oh, it's very exciting, and I can't believe Luddy's actually taking a whole week off.
Yeah, taking a whole week off.
I know he never takes much time off. He's always.
Here's the rundown that came out of the WLIP. This is on Monday. The best of Lenny, 8 to noon.
Is there
where did they
a
find
best
that?
of? Where did they find the best of Lenny?
They're all good because I'm usually on it.
Oh yes.
Here, this is the best of money. 4 hours of that.
All right.
Pete's having a fit. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Well,
Shirley, here's.
congratulations.
Well, yeah, we haven't gone there. Talk to us on Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
Here's the deals. We have your name that song, and you got to name the name of the song
Oh,
and who
please.
sang it.
Oh my gosh, I got it last week. It was Dragnet.
Okay, well, this is a new week. Here you go. This is the name of the song.
Please.
All right, Shirley. What's the name of the song and who sang it?
That? Why me?
That's the opening. That's the opening phrase. Yes. What's the name of the song?
Just why? Why me?
Well, all right, you got that one. Now,
Why
who
me?
sang it? Who actually sang
Who
that song?
sang that? Oh, for Pete's
I'll
sake.
give you a hint.
No, not for my sake.
It's multiple choice. It's either Tanya Harding or Nancy Kerrigan.
Actually, my mom sang that right after she had me in the hospital. So.
This was our WLIP staff meeting when we decided who was going to fill in Tuesday.
All right, Shirley.
what?
Well,
Yeah.
call us.
I got it right?
Yeah?
Yeah. So we'll get you. We'll
Where's
give
my
the
box
free
of
pizza.
chocolates?
No, we'll give. Lenny's giving free pizzas out, so we'll give those on Tuesday when you call back.
Okay.
All right, baby.
I can't wait to hear you.
Okay.
Bye.
We got one caller then.
Yeah.
Is that nobody else?
No, nobody at them. They hung up at them.
What the hell are we going to talk about for 3 hours on Tuesday morning?
Well, is that a good one?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll figure something out. Like I said, we'll go to the Brian Williams School of Journalism.
All righty.
Good morning on Kenosha Today.
Hey, gentlemen, I can't wait till Tuesday.
Well,
Yeah, I got to tell you, George, I don't know what they were thinking.
Yeah. We're going to have.
Hey, I got a question, though.
Okay.
Who's going to be running the board for you guys Tuesday?
Pete. He's with us. When we go down, he's going.
You want to answer that other part of that question?
Okay, go
With
ahead.
Nancy Kerrigan.
Hey,
there we
you're
go.
right.
Yeah,
You're all over this.
You win. You win, George.
We'll get those pizzas right out there. Obviously, you've already taken to this a liking to the 6-pack of beer, so but that's all right.
Are you there, George?
What's that thud I heard?
George, you listen on Tuesday morning, all right?
Oh, definitely. I always listen to the Lenny Palmer show. That's what I've been doing for the last 6.5 years.
So the therapy is not working. All right,
Oh,
George.
it always works.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Daytime TV. I don't even turn the TV on.
all right. Well, that's well said, George. We'll see you. We'll talk to you Tuesday.
Wow, we are just off to a bang up start right now.
Hey, when we come in on Tuesday, now, do we have to dress up or wear some clean underwear or something? I mean, is there special rules?
Do you see the people who work here?
I haven't been here in a month.
Well, you will. You'll get the full on
I
experience.
told Bill Lawrence I wanted him to wear a new T-shirt that day.
Oh boy.
Okay. New for that week?
I'm
or-
sure I'll be in a. I'm sure I'll be in a dress shirt and a tie and maybe a sport coat.
Why?
Why?
Anyway, for those more good news, even boys and girls, tomorrow at noon, each and every Sunday, you can tune in here at WIP AM 1050, listen to the replay of the show, and you can watch the replays on Time Warner Channel 14, Tuesdays at 5, Wednesdays at 6, and Sundays at 6.
The media's making a monster out of you because they don't care about the truth. All they care about is entertainment. Well, you need a forum where they don't even know the meaning of the word entertainment. Public access television.
Catch us live. We're there.
Good morning, you're on Kenosha today.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
This is Stephen Kenosha.
Yes, go ahead.
Well, hey, just great to hear that somebody's going to be sitting in for Lenny. I'm not a fan of the playbacks or the best ofs because I never know when we're talking about anything. But I don't know. Were you able to tell the rest of the schedule for that week? Or?
Yeah, here it is. Monday's the best of Lenny. Tuesdays we're going to be here. Wednesdays, Dan and Pete are going to be
Whoever
here.
they are. I don't know who they
9
are.
to noon.
Some guys.
Thursdays, if you didn't get enough of them on Wednesday, Dan and Pete are going to be back from 9 to noon.
Oh, boy.
And then Friday, the two outdoor boys, Jer and Nick, are here.
They're going to be broadcasting live from a tree.
From a tree stand, yeah. Out
From a tree stand out in the middle of the woods, yeah. That's right.
Oh, that would be interesting.
We got to have a
Really?
We got to have a poll question. We're trying to think of something.
We are going to do poll question day on
Yeah.
Thursday, like
We're
normal
starting-
stuff.
We're going to break in the crowd for Tuesday. When you can
That's
think of
that's
something.
fine. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Got to fill the time. So.
Yeah. All right.
well, congratulations on your move up to the big leagues, as you say.
Absolutely.
And Pete, I'm looking forward to it. I'm a fan of the lip off.
Yeah,
and Pete
well,
knows that,
fine.
so I'll be looking forward to Wednesday and Thursday.
5 solid hours, 3 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, Stevie. It's
All right.
coming.
All right.
All right.
We'll talk to you
Great.
then.
It's going to be a good one.
All right. Thanks.
Hey, did anybody see Scott's show
Okay.
on Wednesday?
Wait a minute. Good morning. You're on Kenosha
No, that
today.
was this.
Oh, that was this one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We had the 19-year anniversary on
Oh,
Wednesday.
I did see it.
And it took me back 19 years when I had short, dark hair and I was a little thinner. And
You weren't ever very good looking, though. So
no, I wasn't. That's
Call in if
Did you
saw it.
did you include the conversation you and I had about the fabulous 5 jelly beans?
I couldn't find it. See, all of these were from 98, 99.
VHS.
Yes, they were
Okay.
in VHS.
We
But
just took VHS.
Okay.
all right.
Okay.
Good morning. You're on Kenosha today.
Good morning.
Good morning. Who's this?
This is Marilyn. How come Lenny's off?
Well,
Lenny's taking a little week off. He's going to take a vacation, go visit some family, I think. And
Okay. I'm anxious to hear what you're going to be like.
so are we.
so
Yeah,
are
you think
we.
You're anxious, yeah.
You know,
You think Pete's going to be? And wait, how about the guys here sitting at the front desk in all the offices over there?
I'm going to have to warn them that there's going to be strangers in the building. It's okay.
Oh, I think this is exciting.
well, I think
It's gonna
this
be
is
exciting.
this is a good step for us. I mean, we've obviously been called up to the major leagues.
Oh, I think you next you're going to be Dancing with the Stars.
Can I slow dance with you, Stevie? Put my head on your shoulder.
Yeah.
I think they just blew up
You
the
never know.
television, yeah.
Hey, I'm quite the dancer.
Yeah.
I love to dance.
Yeah, I know it.
Marilyn, you got any more bright ideas?
Well, I might invite little Stevie in September for Dancing with the Stars.
Where's that going to be?
Yeah, where's
in
that?
September? Yeah, it's going to be big.
Oh, is that right? Who's sponsoring that?
Me. Holy Rosary Church.
Oh,
That's right. Okay,
well,
that's
if you
right.
invite him, how come I don't get it? I got the special additives that I put on my
Well,
shoes to keep
I thought I would ask you to be Master of Ceremonies.
giving up all hope of making any money.
You're going to make any money? I don't think so.
Oh, well, let Stevie dance and I'll announce. I can do that.
Oh, I'd love to dance.
Good.
I'd love to
Keep it
dance.
on. Put that on your calendar, and I'll be listening to you next week. And I thank you for making us enjoy the radio.
All right, thanks, Marilyn.
You're very welcome.
What was the thing that you and Frank Passetti used to do on
We used to do the Blues Brothers.
Blues Brothers,
Yeah,
yeah.
Frank and I used to do the Blues Brothers when Wanda Lynn Bellows was an alderman, and she had a fundraiser every year.
Was that Ruther, wasn't it?
Have a Heart fundraiser.
Yeah.
And Frank and I would do the Blues Brothers, and it was pretty entertaining back
Well,
then.
I think for bring Frank back when he gets here next Tuesday. We'll have to see if you guys can tag team again.
Well, you know, he does have a good radio face.
I was talking about you two guys dancing.
Well, you know what? That was quite a few years ago. I don't know if I could do. I actually at that time was doing cartwheels on stage as part of the Blues Brothers.
God, better bring out the net.
No, we're going to reinforce the floor.
Can you still do a cartwheel?
Sure.
You can do a cartwheel.
Absolutely.
I can't do a cartwheel, but I can do a somersault.
We just roll over.
I can eat
that's
a summer
exactly
sausage. Yeah.
Summer sausage.
That's what I'm here for.
Johnsonville.
All right, I got to read the sponsor here. The Boathouse Pub and Eatery. You're lucky. I'm taking the
oatmeal back. You're taking the oatmeal back.
Yeah, I'm taking it back. So, I mean, if you couldn't think of your friends with Girl Scout cookies.
Well, I'd like to get a call from Donut Dave, and I'd like to have him concede that he lost the race to put the boat in the water first. Mine is in my slip.
Okay, how did you get it in so early? You pay somebody? Or?
No. I told him I had to beat Donut Dave to putting the boat in the water, and they cooperated.
Oh, I know what his problem is. Amongst other things, he's getting a new one, I think.
Well, that's what he claims. Yeah.
No, it's in transit, so you can't hold him against that. He produces a bill of sale.
Well, what I'm not telling you is the boat's got to come back out of the water and then go back in. So
yours?
Yeah, we got some work done on it. So.
Well, I'm trying to follow this. Why would you put that in the water?
Well, now this is going to be a conversation that you're not going to understand, but anybody who knows anything about sailing will. My bulkhead. There's a problem with my bulkhead, and my deck is pulling away from the boat. So what they had to do is before they tightened the bulkhead back down. Now this is complicated. They had to put the boat in the water because the pressure it's stored dry. The pressure on the boat has to be equal. And when it's on jack stands out of the water, the pressure on the bottom of the boat is not even. Well, so they put it in the water. I'm not done yet. Okay. You asked me. I'm going to tell you. So they put it in the water to create equal pressure. They're going to tighten down the bulkhead. Then they're going to take the boat out of the water and re-rig it for me, because the boat is in the slip, but there's no mast and no boom on it because I'm having work done to it.
Well, why would you put the sail up if it's in the slip?
Well, we stored indoors this year.
Oh, okay.
We had the bulkhead pulling away. I'm not sure how it happened, but it separated about a half an inch. So, like I said, if they tighten it down when it's in dry dock, it won't tighten down evenly. You know, and so they had to put it in the water to fix it.
You know, that'd be like me taking my golf clubs out of the trunk, putting them on the first tee, then putting them back in the trunk.
Here, I got a place for you to put your golf clubs.
Mr. Bulk. Good morning. You're on Kenosha Today.
Is this Boat Talks?
Yeah, a boat scam.
I need to ask a question about I'm putting up my rigging and.
Okay, who's this?
I don't know.
Yeah, I understand you got faulty rigging.
Yeah.
This is fascinating radio, guys. Tell me more about how rich people have to maintain their boat.
Oh,
please.
listen, it's got nothing to do with that. It's got nothing to do with that. Believe me.
Hey, did I see in the paper? Maybe I was just. I was too late in the evening. Somebody gets a haircut on the city council floor?
Yeah, wait a minute.
What's that about?
The city council floor. Yeah,
what's taking that to an all new low?
But did you shave the eyebrows?
No, I did not get pledges on the eyebrows. I told you I'd do it for $100 separate pledge and didn't get it.
Wait a minute. I pledged it after you called in the Lenny Palmer show last week. I called up. I was the next caller, and I offered you $100 to shave your eyebrows.
Right. But you didn't give me the $100, and I didn't save it.
Here we go. I said, shave the eyebrows. I'll write you a check for $100.
So now, are you?
But I wanted to check for the $100, and then I would shave the eyebrows.
I don't trust you.
I've dealt with you before.
This from a man who steals chicken sandwiches off the bar at the Sunnyside Club.
It was a damn good chicken.
Well,
sandwich,
it was the best kind of chicken sandwich for you. It was free.
I think it had something to do with the fact that it belonged to you at one point. That's what made it.
It had everything
better.
to do with that.
Well, I told you, and this is the thing. This is honestly what happened. Anthony, come on, let's go to Sunnyside, grab a beer after a meeting. I order a chicken sandwich.
Everything he says in this is true.
I get up to go to the bathroom. Yeah, I get up to go to the bathroom because I never eat without washing my hands. So I went to the bathroom to wash my hands. Well, I'm a funeral director. I wash my hands about 15 times a day. I think.
God.
I mean, people in the healthcare profession.
There is a little bit of a fabrication here. We were both leaving. The chicken sandwich was packaged, ready to go.
See?
And I was concerned about Steve's weight before even Steve was concerned about his weight. I try to do him a service and try to help him out, and this is all he does is throw it back in my face.
This from the alderman with the Dunlap disease. your belly Dunlap over your belt.
Hey, how long did it take you to grow that little fro or whatever you call it?
Actually, guys, I'm cheating a little bit in the fact that it really doesn't take me long to grow that big bush out. It's just about 4 months of growth if I don't get a haircut.
You look like the lead singer in one of those 80 Dirty Dancing movies.
I was thinking more along the lines of Fat Albert.
It was to raise money for the St. Baldrick's Foundation.
Did you hear what he said? Did you hear what he said?
Yeah, I'm ignoring that. I'm ignoring that.
Well, listen, you got the Dunlap disease, your belly Dunlap over your waist, and then also you got no acetol. That's another disease.
I have ass. I'm an African American man. I have ass.
That's another
That's
scientific.
the only thing I got going for me.
That's another actual disease. No acetol.
Boy, you guys are a pair of something. So
well, listen, I'm going to let you guys go back to your fascinating show talking about boat maintenance and Zen and the art of boat maintenance.
Yeah, okay.
Please.
All right.
We can all relate on this one. Keep it up, Steve. Good job. Great radio. Bye, guys.
All we need to do is have Juliana call in.
Actually,
you know what he's going to recommend? Ball bearings.
There you go.
That'll fix it up.
Well, actually, he was probably at the drive-thru McDonald's, and he had to pay. That's why he hung up, Anthony.
He could have just taken his bag and skated,
$27.
That's about as close as that. Good morning.
Good morning, Scott. It's Dr. D.
Oh, how's it going, buddy?
Pretty good. Your gripping story there about shaving Alderman Kennedy's bush was interesting, but I want to invite you all down to the Save the Keno Theater rally. Starts at 11 o'clock today. Anybody that wants to help save it.
I think I got a letter.
What is the purpose of the rally?
The purpose of the rally is to try to convince the owner or someone to save the Keno outdoor, basically.
Interesting.
What is that today?
It's today at 11 o'clock. It's the second one, and there was one last week that brought all the local TV stations from Milwaukee down. That may happen again today. And then once they conclude, I guess, at the Keno Outdoor, then they're going to occupy Bull and Bear.
Okay, now this is, is this different than April 13th? Or is this it? From 3 to 5?
No, April 13th is the actual city meeting.
Okay. All right. And who's in charge of this thing? Pleasant Prairie?
What's that? This is the Save the Keno Outdoor group that is doing this.
Okay, but this other one on April 13th is going to be at the Pleasant Prairie Village Meeting Hall, right?
That's an official meeting at April 13th. There's 3 plans for the drive-in site, none of which can have anything for the drive-in, basically.
Okay.
So
I'll let you go, and then I got to read a letter here that I got about this thing here. So,
what's that?
I got a letter concerning this.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the drive-in was just recently open last year, and it was still open. So it's still passionate with all the people and whatnot. I know Pete really wanted to come to this, but he said he's tied down with something at work.
I wish I could get away. No, I really, really wish I could get away, but I can't.
All right.
Well, I wish.
They're working on it. I think we need a statue of Pete in Suicide Circle down in Illinois.
Wow.
All right,
it's a little harsh. Okay.
Well, I certainly wish that group the best of luck, but it's not ever going to.
Well, I got this letter. Should I wait till after the minute break?
Why don't we hit the break here?
All right, then I'll be
update
back. I got this thing here. This is Uncle Scotty Barter, and welcome to the Kenosha Today Weekly Report, coming to you live from Studio A here at WIP AM 1050 on your dial. Brought to you by the Boathouse Pub and Eatery, Casey Family Options, and a host of many other very fine local businesses. Back with us this morning and in mid-season form. The big dog, little Stevie Casey, is in our Kenosha Today Trolley Barn this
morning. Good morning again, Mr. Barter.
And I suppose we got more boat stories to tell to kill off the rest of us.
No, let's talk about haircuts.
Kennedy
accusing me of participating in riveting radio, and we got to talk about Anthony Kennedy shaving his head.
All we need now is Alderman Wickland to come in and talk to us about his three-piece white suit he's ready to wear.
Well, he is a slave to fashion.
Yes, he is. Also in our Kenosha Today, these are elected officials that you're talking about now. Don't make fun of them.
Yeah, you got one guy wearing a leisure suit to the city council meeting. You got the other guy shaving his head. These are our city fathers.
Yeah, with about $200 million budget.
Why don't you do something respectable, like having an illegal parade?
Yeah. Hey, when we come in, by the way, if you haven't heard, Stevie and I and Peter and Ron are going to be here Tuesday from 9 to noon filling in for Lenny Palmer. And do we have to have those special badges so we can get through security?
Yeah, if you could just slide yours through at the door, Scott.
Okay.
I will bring my badge.
Yours was federally
I'm a
issued,
federally
of course.
elected alderman, and they all carry badges.
And this is a federally licensed facility, so
Well,
it
that's
should work
us.
well. Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Oh, well, it gets us through security. That's why we carry the badges.
Coming up on...
And we can't just let anybody in here.
I guess it would be Monday. Monday's the 13th, right? At
Yes.
Pleasant Prairie Village meeting from 3 to 5, talking about what they're talking about. Going to plan for the place at the Southport.
Keno
Outdoor.
Thank you. I was my photogenic mind kind of left me there. Good morning. You're on Kenosha Today.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Yeah, Paulie, how's it going, buddy?
I don't know. I mean, let's recap what's been going on. Early yesterday.
Well, that about wraps it up.
Let's not, yeah. Let's not say we did.
Oh, no. Well, yesterday, Lenny goes down in the shower. That's all I have to say about that.
That's correct.
And then today we're talking about Steve's bulkhead.
Yes.
And Alderman Kennedy getting his bush shaved. And now we're going to start talking about the 50 people that are going to show up for a rally about the Keno.
Your point is?
Yeah, and your point?
I can't wait for Tuesday to come.
Yeah,
I
think I got plans on Tuesday morning.
Hey, when you had your head shaved, why didn't you get it down in the city council chambers? You're just as important.
I know that, but I mean, I raised $2,300 doing it the way I did it, so.
Yeah,
you're right. And I got to tell you, you cannot pull that look off. I would grow the hair back, Paul.
I am doing that as we speak, Steve. It's the best advice. You're my funeral director, so I listen to what you have to say.
Oh yeah, me.
So that says a lot about me. So
yeah, I'm listening to him too. He's my funeral director, and you know what he tells me about getting cremated. Got to wait for a week because it take that long for the fire to go out. So this is the same guy that's serving my needs. Yeah.
Listen, when I was on the city council, I used to offer 2-for-1 cremations for any 2 aldermen down there.
Yeah, but there's only 5 to choose from, right?
Yeah, right. All right, call us Tuesday. We need a poll question.
Oh, I'll call.
All right.
Okay, thanks, guys.
All right. Good morning on Kenosha Today.
Good morning, Scott. It's Scott. How are you?
Okay.
Hey.
How come you didn't have your hair shaved? Right next to Kennedy.
I have more hair on my back than I do on my head, and that wouldn't have been a nice sight.
You know what? I could have gone my whole life without hearing that.
Hey, you know.
Thinking of us. That's
Holy
impressive.
cow.
More hair on his back.
What am I gonna
You got to probably get out a Black & Decker hedge trimmer.
You know, guys like you and I are not allowed to go to the beach with our shirts off. I'll clue you.
Yeah, that's for sure. You know, I sit next to Anthony, and he's a great guy. And you know, I was ripping him. I thought he was auditioning for the Soul Train remake movie with that hair going down. You know, just dance down the road. You want to just picture Anthony doing that, but. You know, he's a great guy and a very good heart.
So you read that just like he wrote it?
No, actually, I didn't. I was hoping, though, when Commissioner Hallman was taking the Clippers, he'd go right down the middle one time and give him, like, the bozo look. That would have been pretty funny.
Yeah, he's a great guy, right? I love sitting next to him at the council meetings.
Yeah, thank goodness I wasn't in the... I can't even imagine Anthony Kennedy getting his head shaved in the city council chambers.
Well, you
I'm
saw
sure.
the look in the paper how I got in the picture by accident. But
Yeah. Did they bring in the health department after that?
No, but he cleaned it up.
Or the hazmat?
Yeah, street sweeper.
The hazmat team from the fire department?
It's like picking up
cleaned it up. I got to give it to him. Yeah. But, hey, guys, the reason I called is a couple things. One, a great benefit today going on from noon to 5 is Frank and Cheryl Paris's autism benefit. It's over at the UAW this year. That is a big deal. There'll be a lot of people there. Great causes get some money out of this, including KUSD classes for kids with special needs. Dream Playground's getting a little bit of it. But it's a good thing, and that runs today from noon to 5 over at UAW. And my colleague, Kurt Wilson, will jump on board this year and offer the hall. So that's a good thing, and encourage everybody to stop over and have a drink or two and listen to Frank's band play. But that's a big one. And second thing I wanted to touch on is I'll be very interested to see how many Pleasant Prairie residents show up to the meeting and rail against Steve Mills and rail against development because they want to drive it. I mean, I just, you know, I always said this isn't our battle to fight as Kenosha residents. You know, it's a Pleasant Prairie piece of property. The tax base is at Pleasant Prairie. It has really nothing to do with us except the nostalgia end of it. And it would be like, Steve, if somebody went to your house on 22nd Avenue and said, Steve, you got a great house here, and I'm going to give you 100 times its worth. And then people would say, Steve, don't sell it because that house is part of the neighborhood. It's got to stay. And it's business. It's just business. You know, drive-ins are going away all over the place. And I'm sure if there's a developer that has a few $1 million when the Chrysler land is available, they can put a drive-in there if they deem that to be a business that they can make money at.
Yeah, they'll never achieve anything. I wish them the best of luck, and everybody has a right to protest, but they don't have a chance, and they don't have a prayer to keep that open.
Scott, I got to let you go. I got another caller, but thanks for the info on the priestess. We were going to talk about that before, but that's from 1 to 6 at the UAW, so everybody can get out.
Sure is. It's a great event. Thanks,
all right,
guys.
thanks
Have
a
a
lot.
great day.
Good morning on Kenosha Today.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, this is Jeff from Racine.
Okay, Jeff.
Yeah, earlier I called on the sporting show and told that there was a gun show in Sturtevant. I didn't read the fine print. It says Delavan, so I didn't want your listeners to run out to Sturtevant.
So Nick and Jer made an error?
No, I did.
Oh, you did?
I called in to let them know there was a gun show, but in small fine print it said Delavan, Wisconsin.
Oh, so
well, thank you for the
Where
correction.
they normally have a gun show in Sturtevant, but there isn't one in Sturtevant. It's Delavan.
All right, so everybody was listening.
Okay,
Don't go to the right town.
that's right.
All right, go ahead.
Who's on before us?
Nick and Jerry, the hunting
Nick and
guys.
Jerry?
You know, the two, Nick and Tom, no, Nick and Jerry.
All I know is I came in 2 weeks ago. They had a live falcon in here.
At least it wasn't a dead falcon. Then it would have been.
Here, I got this, talking about the Keno letter, the Keno Theater, I got this letter. Being a faithful listener to, it says, Dear Mr. Barter, being a faithful listener to your program, I will concur that the Kenosha Today show should be described as a glorious absence of sophistication and a general lack of any form of intelligence.
At least it's glorious.
Yes, and that listening to your show has absolutely nothing to do with money or your social standing. I will also agree that tuning into WLIP every Saturday morning, I more than likely need some form of advanced therapy. I very much enjoyed your discussion last week involving the saving of the Keno Drive-In. Having conceived my entire family at that location, me and the missus are overwhelmed with the public outcry to save this last piece of local Americana. We sit here on the porch at the RV trailer park and hearken back to the good old days when a good 4-ounce piece of fresh Roadkill could feed our entire family of 7, including the dogs, for practically nothing, next to nothing. Now that Mama can start wearing her orange vest and get back to directing traffic during the road construction season, and I start my new job as a greeter on the trolley, life just doesn't get any better than this. Keep those welfare checks a-coming. We are living proof that being educated in the Kenosha Unified School System and graduating from the 5th grade certainly has its rewards. Now that we will be having state-of-the-art athletic facilities, I'm confident that my dopey, snot-nosed kids will somehow grow up to be smarter than a 5th grader. We look forward to your continuing efforts as serious journalists in helping to stave off the wrecking crew and siring additional offsprings at the Keno. Sincerely, June and Ward Cleaver. Nice touch, Pete. Nice touch.
That touched me deep down here.
Yeah.
I just read them as I get them, man.
Pete's touched all right.
Yeah, it is all right.
So are you attending the rally?
It's today, right? I got.
It's at 11, so.
Yeah, kind of tough for me to split at 11. I got to stay here and save you.
Actually, I'm going to be excusing myself a little bit early today.
Well, what else is new?
Yeah, what else is new?
What are you saying? Pete, come on, be honest.
What are you going to do on Tuesday? It's going to be like 11:30. Well,
yeah, just going to pack up and go.
Bored with this. So long, everybody.
I always leave with.
And you get the sad walking away music as
letting
he goes.
them wanting more. Leave them wanting more.
Bye, Stevie. Bye.
All right, thanks. I'm out of here.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. That's the deal with this show. We don't want to peak too early. We don't want to give them our A game this morning.
Yeah.
And have nothing in the tank come Tuesday. So
nothing in the tank. Nothing in the tank for sure.
I want to thank the House of Gerhardt. Well, I suppose since Stevie's not here, this is the time to talk about the Kenosha News having their big pothole contest. Did you see that? Swerve bump. And this is how the Kenosha News is. Maybe that's how bad it's gotten. They have to have a pothole contest.
Mm-hmm.
Stevie and I didn't resonate to the voters when they had the sweetheart contest for Valentine's Day.
Because when I think sweethearts, I think you and Steve.
Oh, yeah, right.
What about me?
You're sure sweet too, Ronnie. Don't
Okay,
worry.
thank you.
So anyway, these
I'm
are
filling
just,
in for. Just let everybody know I'm sitting in Steve's chair right now.
That's good. If I decide to do a new open, we need more Ron audio. So if you could keep talking.
Okay.
So I have something clever, that you said.
some of the things that went on this week. They had a meeting. Oh, our buddy Giuliani had this meeting over at the Boys and Girls Club.
It was what, Thursday?
To get some suggestions of what to do with the Chrysler site. And I'm reading this article from some of these people had some great ideas when they called last week. From a business park, a theme park, from a zoo to botanical garden. They never mentioned my country club. Scotty's Country Club wasn't on the docket.
Go-karts. They wanted go-karts.
Yeah. And,
Bumper cars.
Bumper cars.
Kenosha County.
I think you should have city council the experience.
Yeah, there you go.
Where you get to, it's like you can participate in a city council meeting in real time.
Wax museum figures. They talk to you.
Well, like an amusement park. City Hall themed amusement park.
Yeah, City Hall West.
Right.
and just
you
like,
can shave the fro.
Bring your clippers and you can pull the. You got 17 numbers. You can take one out of the drum and you can get
Meet
the shave.
that person,
one of those cutouts you can stick your face through. It's a white suit on the other side. Yeah.
Do a little
picture taken.
Yeah, with the arm.
With the arms through.
Little dunk tank action. But one of the things that I see in this article, Kenosha County Supervisor Terry Rose, he wants an industrial office park. I think the days of, in my view, having an industrial park there are long gone. However, the industrial parks and manufacturing is going out west, and I don't know that the residents are going to be so thrilled about having big semis coming up and down 60th Street or 52nd Street. Industrial park office park might work, but we've got a lot of empty office spaces around the town as it is. But at least, and then there's another meeting coming up. I think it's next week with the Urban Land Institute out at Gateway, and they're trying to get again more residents' ideas on what should go there. And I just hope that these, like the Urban Land Institute, and some of these things aren't just dog and pony shows, and they're actually taking what people are telling them and going to maybe try to incorporate it if it's feasible. I still think the Kino Theater would be a great place to put there. You wouldn't even have to take the cement out; just kind of seal it up and take the screen, put it a couple 100 yards off east of 30th Avenue and face it to the east, and put the American Motors.
Once again, what is that acreage there?
Around 150, I think. It's there's lots of stuff in there. Well said, Pete.
Yeah. I'm not. Hey, listen. I got a lot of hours this coming week to fill with content.
Yeah.
Not wasting it here. Sorry.
Oh, nice guy.
Yeah. Well, radio. I'll read this.
Wait, don't do it yet.
Thoughts.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, we got to keep talking in the meantime before the show, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
He's not denying it. That's the thing.
What are we talking about now?
Well, we're going to talk about the election Tuesday. First thing I think was...
What was the turnout?
14%.
14%, which is a little bit higher than I thought it was going to be.
I think I had said 9 or 10%.
Yeah, and one of the, obviously, the big referendum that passed was the unified schools.
Are you surprised that passed?
I thought it was going to be close. But I'm surprised it passed because I heard a lot of negative.
You had low voter turnout,
Yeah.
but you had the people who were supporting it the most certainly got their people out.
That's
to
what
vote,
I figured
and that's
would
what
happen. Yeah.
Well, good for them. I'm glad it worked. But some of the senior citizens.
I went in to vote. It was probably about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and this has never happened before. Tell me if this has ever happened with you. I turned 54 this year.
It happened to me once
in February, but I was number 54 voter in my district. So do I qualify for some kind of special, like the millionth customer of?
Here's a free oatmeal pack.
You know. I vote at the senior citizen center, and I was number 54, and I had never been my age before. You know what I mean?
I don't know if there's any
Is that a coincidence? I don't think there's any significance. I just thought I'd point it out.
And you just killed 30 seconds.
Yeah, there we go.
As opposed to taking 2 minutes and going to the bathroom.
You know what? There should be a 45 break, and he would have been okay.
Yeah.
He
would have been
on
back.
Tuesday, you'll be all right. There's a break.
Hey,
in there,
what
yeah.
about how about them? How about them Brewers? 10-0 on opening day.
I know it. I
What the heck? What the heck?
I was going to talk about that later, but very shrewd financial move. I sold my Cubs playoff tickets and traded them in for Brewers tickets. Now, was that a smart move on my part or what? They haven't even won. Would you look at your belt still there? You think you lost something?
Wait after that
they haven't. Can't you at least you turn the fan
Can
on?
we just keep it clean for heaven's sakes?
Did you kind of shut the door a little bit so
there's paint peeling off the walls in there.
Bathroom still needs cleaning, by the way.
It does not.
Cleaning lady will be in tomorrow when it cools down. Yeah.
Is it warm in here? It is. Yeah.
Anyway, the Cubs aren't off to a very rousing start either. I mean, they only won one game.
Hey, what about the Yankees? 19 innings.
19 innings last night against the Red Sox.
Did they win?
Red Sox
They won 6-5, I think.
No kidding.
Boy, that's like playing 2 9-inning games, Stevie.
Right.
Plus one.
Plus one.
Hey, let's play 2.
And a half.
Ernie Banks. Isn't that what he used to say, Ernie Banks?
Let's play 2, yeah.
Okay, name the starting lineup of the Chicago Cubs in 1969. Billy Williams,
Billy
Don
Williams,
Young,
yeah.
Or you can ask us.
Jose Cardinal.
You can even try to impress us.
Who was a shortstop?
Don Kessinger.
This was 18 years before I was born.
Yeah.
So
Second base.
Glenn Beckert.
First base.
Ernie Banks. Santo at third.
Santo at third. Huntley behind the plate.
Hundley, not Huntley. Hundley, Randy Hundley.
Hundley.
It's
Hundley. Not Huntley. You're thinking of.
There's not a T?
No.
It's a D.
See,
D. Hundley. Okay, that's right. And Fergie Jenkins on the mound.
And
You're getting 3 hours on Tuesday. You know that?
Okay, Rich Nye, and they had a couple other pitchers. I played with Rich Nye.
Well, Joe Pepitone. Remember Joe Pepitone?
He didn't play first base.
Joe Pepitone I met at Stanlock Buick on 60th Street, and he was there doing some kind of spokesman thing, and he was signing autographs. I got his autograph. Joe Pepitone was the first major league ball player to bring a hair dryer into the locker room.
Well, he had a hair piece.
A blow dryer rather.
But didn't he not have a hair piece?
No, I don't think
that
so.
Was real?
Yeah, that was real hair. Yeah.
This is my real hair. Is that your real hair?
This is my real hair. Yeah.
Okay, well, next time we do a segment on hair, we'll have to have Kennedy come in.
Yeah, and Scott Gordon.
Yeah.
We could braid his back.
Cornrows.
Not on camera.
I could have gone my whole life without knowing that he's got a hairy back. Holy cow. Oh, my.
Guys better come up with a topic
Guy's
quick.
going off to the beach, and he tells the missus, hey, roll some of this in there, and probably have to use...
Well, I'm not allowed.
Decker.
I'm not allowed to sun myself on the beach. They keep trying to roll me back into the water.
Well, what do the little kids do for shade if you're not there?
Mommy, I think he's still alive.
What do they do for shade if you leave the beach? You didn't hear that, did you?
No, I didn't. I ignore you mostly.
I said for the third time, what do the little kids do for shade when you're not there?
Yeah, I heard it the first time.
Well, then say it. Say it.
Whoa.
Wow, things are...
You got that one, Pete? Say it.
Say it?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I got that somewhere. Yeah.
This is-
Get back into the Stonehenge River! I'll call down the why! Say it! Say it!
See? We got something for everybody.
Who was that? That was Sam
Kinison.
He died, didn't he?
He's dead.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's gone.
Yeah, didn't he? I think
Still
he hit
dead.
a tree.
Still dead.
I could check,
Yeah.
but I think he's still dead.
A drunk hit him. I think somebody crossed the center line.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was a head-on collision. Yeah.
You know, there was this picture in the paper with all of these big rocks down at the Southport Park. I guess they're shoring up Lake Michigan. I thought we ordered that rock to replace the roof, Pete. And here they're using all this rock.
Mm-hmm.
No, they lost.
They're wasting
They got into the stash.
in the big storm. They lost about 30 feet of beach off of Southport.
Just this last week?
No, this happened about a month or two back. It was a big storm, and 2 or 3 trees went into the ocean, and it all just gave away. You know, it's mostly sand down there anyway.
So it's not too long before the whole beach house goes in there, right?
Well, they say the lake reclaims its,
So why would, if knowing that, and you didn't make this up, I know because you sound pretty sincere, knowing that, why would we spend $200,000 to replace a dopey roof? See?
Yeah.
I gotta patch it up there.
Well, I still say my I think the best idea with the Southport Beach house is to just move it to the 9th district. You know, they didn't want the dog run, so Keith Rosenberg, took the dog run. There's some improvements now done to the pond over there at Anderson Park. Have you seen it? It's a nice handicapped accessible fishing area.
I thought you were
over
talking
at
about the
Anderson
dog
Park. No.
Oh.
They did just recently completed some improvements to the pond area. I took my son down there. This had to have been 15 years ago. Took my son down there for a fishing derby, because they stock Anderson Pond.
Yeah, they do.
And he had, we went down there, and I think he caught some fish. I don't think he won, but that had to have been, 15 years ago.
Did you throw your old worm in the water?
Do you fish, Scott? Do you fish?
Not anymore. Hey, little Stevie, we talked about this last week. Now pay attention.
I'm paying attention.
Yeah. The city gave out 12,000 alternate side parking tickets, amounting to $351,000 and change in fines.
Well, they use it as a revenue source.
I tried to explain that to you. This is budgeted, way beyond budget. This is in the
but they hit. That's up from the year before, isn't it?
By about 10,000 more citations. It's up.
No, not up 10,000 more
citations. There were more than 10,000 alternate site. Up from 8,000. I'm sorry.
Up from 8,000.
Yeah, okay, 8 to 10,000.
So 8 to 10 is 2,000. Genius.
No, it says there were more than 10,000 alternate site parking citations last year, up from 8,000. Yeah, exactly.
So that's
10,000.
25%
Tomato.
more.
What's the difference? But that's a lot of money, don't you think?
Well, sure it is, but they use it as, let's face it, there is a rule out there that states that you got to park on certain sides of the street in the wintertime, and if you don't, then you get a fine. That's all.
It's also a rule that aldermen have to go to committee meetings, but we know how that worked out. This article about the ethics board, yeah. The guy says, it was in the paper, he says, well, I should have submitted the reconsideration to the human resources. Here's the letter. The last sentence is, if you have any questions with respect to the contents, please contact me. I did. I'm the only guy playing by the rules. So I guess.
Well, like I said, it's a pretty sad state of affairs at City Hall when you actually, need and keep busy an ethics committee.
Well, they don't. There's no point to them, man. Now, there's absolutely no point. They might as well just go.
Well, and I don't think I've been told that there's other complaints out there pending that are going to be coming forward sometime in the next couple weeks, and I think there's a pretty hefty lawsuit going to be launched by an alderman concerning
litigation.
An issue. Litigation.
Let's take this call. Good morning on Kenosha Today.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. Who's this?
It's Keith.
Okay, Keith, go ahead.
Alderman Rosenberg, how are you?
Good, sir, and yourself?
Oh, we don't care.
I'm doing okay. I'm having a hard time getting that vision of Scott Gordon's hairy back out of my mind. But
yeah, it's a pretty scary sight.
Yeah. What's up?
And I'm not going to ask why you've seen it.
got about a minute, guys. About a minute here.
Okay.
What's on your mind, Keith?
I just want to congratulate you real quick on taking over the Lenny show. Your next goal is the Bill Lawrence show Wednesday morning.
We'll get them all. Heard them all.
About 6:50.
Oh yeah.
What's on at that?
I'll explain it to you during the break there, Scotty. I know you're still sleeping at 6:50.
Oh,
so is
sometimes
everybody
not
else.
even home yet.
Hey, Keith, Anderson Park's looking real nice. Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate the kudos on that. Just trying to improve my district, and I know we were talking briefly about the Keno driving, and I applaud those people trying to save it because whatever development goes there directly will affect my district, which is right across the street. So that's why I have some concerns. I have some concerns of a possible Walmart going there.
Keith, this music says I got to go.
All right, sounds good.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Really do. Sorry I got to cut you off. All right, we will be back in
4 minutes.
4 minutes. Barter, and welcome to the all-new Kenosha Today Weekly Report, coming to you live from Studio A here at WIP AM 1050 on your radio dial. Being brought to you by the Boathouse Pub and Eatery, Casey Family Options, and a host of many other very fine local businesses. In our Kenosha Today Trolley Barn this morning, taking serious journalism to an all-time high, reporting on local issues, state stories, spanning the globe. The big dog, little Stevie Casey, embraces our presence this morning.
Or we just make it up as we go along.
Hey, that incident where you left for a couple minutes in the first hour there, Pete, don't we have some of that spray in the can for
because of that yellow cloud billowing down the hallway? Is that what you're getting at?
How come the
yeah, we'll spray
really?
here.
Really?
Yeah.
We're gonna discuss this.
How come the sirens are going on?
Oh, I tell you what. I come here. I give my best every Saturday when I'm here.
That's what you're
when
calling
I'm
your best. Debatable. Yeah. Along with the always lovable Captain Ronnie Muttersbuck and never alert and fully in command Pistol Pete Surgeon. This week, there was a big article about the road construction season starting in Kenosha, and apparently Alderman G. John Ruffalo is questioning about the bids going out on time, and he says maybe I'm completely wrong. Well, probably is. And then they talked about getting how you set up the road construction plan and the variety of streets that are going to be addressed this year. And this was written in our home office on the deck of the boathouse. You ready?
Yeah.
How long you been doing this show?
Top 10 good things about the road construction season here in Kenosha. See, that's us. We're always positive. Top 10 good things about the road construction season here in Kenosha. Number 10 gives Alderman G. John Ruffalo something more to whine about. Number 9 coincides with the Roadkill Chili Bake-Off. Number 8, nothing spruces up a city better than a couple thousand banged-up orange barrels. Number 7 allows plenty of overtime for the village people to save the Kenosha Drive-In Theater. Number 6.
For the village people?
For the village people. Two words, and I quote Patrick Juliana, ball bearings. And number 5, can schedule an airstrike on the Southport Beach House without going to bid. Number 4, cost estimates much lower than Scott's Boathouse Bar Tab. Not by much. Includes replacing every broken toilet seat east of I-94. I think we're on to something, big boy.
Yeah, you know what? Wait till I tell you what happened this week.
The new trolley route looks a lot like downtown Baghdad, and the number one good thing about the road construction season here in Kenosha provides a contingencies fund so aldermen can buy super glue and 10-gallon baths. Oh, I love the big finish, Pete.
My attorney tells me I am prohibited from discussing
litigation,
anything to do with super glue on the radio.
What about toilet seats?
Due to the graphic nature of this program,
I knew it was
viewer
just matter
discretion
time.
is advised.
By the way, turn tape over.
Oh, yeah.
For all my fellow former aldermen and current aldermen, we're going to take 5 seconds here, and you can turn the tape over because I know they're at home recording us. Ready? Go. Okay. Push record.
Yeah, there you
okay,
go.
there we go.
For those that haven't heard,
Can you get a load of that they actually record us?
well, they should. And here's more good news, boys and girls. Come next Tuesday, little Stevie and I are going to be here filling in for Lenny Palmer, who's away on vacation.
Now, they're going to have to buy an extra cassette tape then.
Well,
3 hours.
Yeah. From Stevie and I will be here from 9 to noon. Pete will be here, and I guess Ronnie's going
I'll be here.
to tape it. And so,
I'll do so.
So what you're hearing
And
this
we're
morning...
going to have a special guest in at 11 o'clock.
Thank you. Frank Passetti,
the city administrator, probably talk about the wage study, probably talk about some of the construction being done and street repairs,
If you
things
have
like
any
that.
questions for this last hour, give us a call, 262-694-1050. We haven't really peaked on this show today because we don't have nothing left in the tank.
There's nothing in the
This
tank.
is all strategic.
I hope something. I hope that something bad happens between now and Tuesday. Give us something to talk
Or
about.
you go back to the bathroom and we'll talk about it.
Well, the Keno meeting's Monday night, right? So we could probably recap some of that.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Take people's reactions.
Hey, did you see the article in the paper this morning about Harbor Park, the market, that they're expanding out into Bristol?
Thinking about doing it. Yeah.
Thinking about doing that. Does that? And the article wasn't real clear. Does that mean they'd be pulling out of downtown, or is this in addition to?
I don't get that. I think it's just as going to be a satellite deal.
That's okay, because I read the article twice and couldn't really determine whether they were going to relocate Harbor Park Marketplace or in addition to. I would think it would be in addition to. They're wildly successful in downtown Kenosha.
Do you normally read every article twice?
Was
I mean, so frontwards, backwards?
I had a little extra time this morning.
Yeah. So what's the newspaper doing in the bathroom?
Yeah.
On the
so
magazines.
this is the deal. I told you. I don't get it, and we live in a house that's about 100 years old. I understand that. Okay, I think it was 100 years old a year ago, 101 years old, and we've got it's a big colonial home, and we've got 2 closets in the front hall, small closets on either side of the front door. When you walk in our house, there's two closets on either side. Well, the bathtub is right above the closet to the south. All right, and that's the closet where we have all the snow gear, the boots, and the gloves and things like that. So we don't generally use that closet because there's no snow on the ground, right? So my wife happened to go in there looking for something, and the pipe underneath the bathtub was rusted. rusted through, and it's been leaking into the closet, we figure, for at least 5 days. And the water was leaking through the wall all the way into the basement. An absolute mess. I just don't get it. Always something with these old homes. Yep. Always something. So I got my good friends Lee Plumbing coming over next week, and they're going to put a new pipe in, and who knows what else they're going to do, because it's, like I said, it was an absolute mess. Everything ruined. Well, you might have to. Because it got in the walls. We're going to have to take the plaster down and re-drywall the closet. It's a mess.
Folks, just when you thought fixing a sailboat wasn't exciting enough, we get to fixing a leaky pipe.
Listen, I know for a fact.
One trick is to tell them stories that don't go anywhere. Like the time I caught the ferry over to Shelby.
All right, cut him off. Cut him off. All right, go away.
You got any more?
My life is an open book. I just share things. I just share things.
Okay.
I tell you what, you should give the Lee Plumbing guys their own key.
Well,
they've been over enough.
Yeah, they've been over enough, and it's nothing that they've done. It's always me. Of course, there you go. Had that accident with the toilet seat.
2 of them.
How's the Big John search going, by the way? Yeah. With the stainless steel hinges?
Coming in on they got the extra wide, right?
They got the 7 wide, the 6 wide.
Well, and the worst part of it is now that means I got to take a shower on the first floor, because we have a full bathroom on the first floor. And then you got to go upstairs. And too many stairs in our house.
So
I hate climbing stairs.
Yeah, no sense getting any exercise.
I really dislike chairs. If I could get away from with buying, if my wife would let me get away with buying one of those rascal chairs to get around the house in, I would do that. I would use that.
What about the one that climbs the wall on the staircase?
Up the stairs. Yeah, I would do that as well.
When you shower downstairs now, you put a bathrobe on when you're going back upstairs. You just don't prance around in here.
No, that's one of those details you can't bother with. Yeah.
Well, it's only going to be for a few days. I mean, Leah's coming on. I don't know when they're coming. I think on Monday.
But my point is, you don't because you have openness to your house. You don't want the people going up and down 22nd Avenue to see you in your underwear going upstairs. Ow! Yeah, you think you got a ticket for the last
Pete,
permit.
All I do, yeah. Do I need a permit for that?
You probably better check.
No numbers on the front and no blinds on the window. Jeez.
Oh, there are blinds on the window, but there are no numbers on the front of my house.
Your reign of terror is over in this community, Bub.
Well, we had the house painted. We haven't put them up yet. I should probably put them back up so that
at least before election day next year.
Any of the aldermen don't drive by my house. And it was a funny conversation when the inspector sent me the violation for not having the numbers on the house. This was after the last time we painted, 5-6 years ago or what have you. And the I said, well, it's just house numbers. He says, well, what if you had an emergency and you had to call the fire department? How would you tell them to get to your house? You
Probably mean the one with the flames shooting up.
I said, that's exactly what I told them. I said, wait a minute. I'm on 22nd Avenue, and I give them my address. If the fire department's coming to my house, it's the house on fire.
It's the house next to the house with no numbers.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the matter with you?
Yeah, pour water on that.
We couldn't find you. Your house isn't marked. So anyways.
What was the fine?
It was a warning that I had to put. I had until a certain time to put the numbers back up, and but that was retaliation. The alderman sent him over there when he spotted that, and then another alderman turned me in at the planning center. We moved into our new planning center 3 years ago on 75th Street, and there's big 5x5 sign lighted out in front, and the landlord had never ever had a sign permit. There have been 5-6 different businesses over the last 25 years in that little place where we're at now, and he never had a sign permit. So I changed the face of the sign, of course, Casey Family Options Planning Center, and of course the alderman at the time, runs a check to see if I pull the sign permit because I changed the face of the sign, of course, and proved it because before that it was a blank sign, and they did fine me because I put up a new sign. Casey Family Options Planning Center. So this is how these guys down at City Hall operate. They're going to do whatever they can to get back at you. Really? I don't have numbers on the front of my house, and that's public enemy number 1. So you send the inspector over to my house and actually take the time to write me a fine. But that's how petty these people are.
Stop it! I'm starting to tear up.
Well, it's no different than the illegal parade. I got about 300 of my closest friends, walking down the street on St. Patrick's Day. We're Irishmen.
No more.
And they send the police department 4 squads over to write me a ticket. That's how these guys operate. Watch your back, Scotty boy. Watch your back. They're laying for you. But you know what? I got broad shoulders. Bring it on.
Yeah.
Bring it on. Who cares?
So, kill the band. What do you tell your neighbors when they come over and tell you, could you please close your shades?
Oh, no. I've got plenty of shades.
Oh. Okay. Let me read this.
He's wearing them.
Yeah. When the sun...
The commission, people have about had enough with Mr. Michael Bell.
He's down south, isn't he?
Well, I don't know, but you know what? You can only go in citizens' comments in front of the city council or to the public and call the police chief a crook and a incompetent, and along with everybody else. After a period of time, it gets old, and finally the commission said enough with this. I don't know what the purpose is for this. You want to?
Well, I don't. Yeah, I don't understand. I've said all along, I've always supported our men in blue. I'll continue to do that. And there are situations, of course, that aren't right. You saw the shooting, the videotape shooting in South Carolina. What a horrible, tragic event. And nothing good ever comes from things like this. But I've just always tried to err on the side of supporting the police department unless they show me different.
Well,
never had any problems with the police department in 22 years on the city council.
Except for all those permits that you got
except all the times they come over and write me a ticket for illegal parades and no house numbers, things like that. But
if you got a question,
what a waste of time! Really, you're going to send an inspector over to somebody's house and write them a citation because they don't have house numbers on? Why don't you make a simple phone call? They sent me a certified letter. No house numbers. And that was from my alderman. Turn me in. And then you wonder why I pick on them a little bit. Then you wonder why I call them idiots, because most of them are idiots. No house numbers, Scott. And they're going to write me a ticket. How many man hours are involved with that? So write the letter, send it, certified letter, follow up with a phone call, come back and inspect. Now, what they didn't say is don't
hold back.
My address is 7306, but I was going to put it 3706. Really confuse them.
Okay. You done?
I'm done.
I'm afraid to pull the song down because it's going to keep going.
Another one of our great spots. What are you doing now?
I'm listening to my voicemail.
So is everybody else because you hold it up to the mic.
You know what? He records himself, Pete, and then he pulls his headphones
Listen,
off and listens to
I'm
himself.
trying to multitask, okay? I've got a lot of things going on this morning.
You can't even go to the bathroom without you have to take it 2 times to read an article. You go to the bathroom, and then you break the toilet seat. Yeah, your life's an open book, all right.
My life's an open book.
So you're going to get a Lake County newspaper.
Yes, okay, thank you.
Yes.
And I'm gonna kind of brief up on what the heck was that? kind of brief up on what's going on, because apparently during the morning you have a pretty good amount of Lake County people tuning in, right?
Yes, they can hear us in Lake County.
So we're gonna
even now. I'm sure we do.
Where
we
the
have
hell is
people
Lake
down
County?
Yeah, this
about
is
2
go
minutes
real
down
well.
the road. Yeah,
may as well offend them all right to begin with.
Yeah, don't. Yeah.
Hey, they have city councils down there that do stupid things.
Oh, they do.
Right.
There's universal.
Play
things.
right into our little web.
Yeah.
There you go.
They have aldermen. Don't worry.
How many people do they estimate listen to the Lenny Palmer show? Did I hear it in excess of 50,000?
Oh, there's quite a few. Sure.
That would be an excess.
More than 3.
Well, I mean, it's not this show, but it gets its share. Yeah.
We'll get that number. We'll get that number down to where it ought to be. Huh?
Well,
like
I don't even think my wife listens to this show.
Where do you tell her you're going Saturday morning?
Well, we're at the grocery store, and somebody says, "Hey, Steve, I heard you on the radio on Saturday." My wife turns to me, "You're on the radio on Saturdays?"
Communication.
Yeah.
Beautiful thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, the House of Gerhardt.
We've got, I'd like to be going there tonight, but we've got other plans. We're going out with some friends. They both celebrated birthdays this week, and I think they've made reservations at the Bartley House. I'm not entirely sure.
You never take me out for my birthday.
No, you're right, I don't.
Hey, did you go to Geneva?
I'll let you explain.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what happened?
Oh, well, I haven't spoken. Well, remember, we talked about this a few weeks ago?
Yeah, but you hadn't decided.
No, I stayed home, watched. Well, and it was a great Badger game, the Saturday night game when they played Kentucky. Great game. And I chose not to go out to listen to Father Bill in Lake Geneva, but we watched the game and had a nice time. So, I'll make the next concert.
As long as you send in the money, what does he care?
Well, I bought the tickets, right?
Yeah, you could have. You know what? You could have really done a humanitarian deal, and or you could have donated the tickets to some, underprivileged child. Or family.
Did you see that article on the news about the guy that got pulled over and he had the mannequin in the
passing lane thing?
in the passing lane, because to ride in the
Oh, yeah.
what is that lane called?
The express lane.
The express lane. You got to have more than one person in there, so we had a mannequin or you had a cutout.
That's very prominent.
Yeah, very prominent. You could do that with me next time I'm not here. Just have a cutout here.
Here, I thought you put a thing in my car with you in it. But I've only got an average seat in the car, so I'd have to open up the sunroof to get your mannequin in there. You get what I'm saying? Big John seat.
You know what? Let's just
push the seat all the way back.
For Tuesday. Let's just change things up a little bit. Why don't you just not attempt humor?
I'm not.
And you just be the
Tell you what I
straight
can do.
guy, and I'll be the funny guy. Because you know what? You're really not that funny most of the time.
I know. That's just. I told you, I got issues.
Oh, you got issues. You got issues.
So what talked about was the referendum that passed, and you know what referendum, Pete, that passed 98% was the question of should Kenosha extend or allow 365 free roadkill pickup.
Oh, yes.
That passed.
Vote yes on no.
Yeah.
We pushed that for a long time.
So now it's permissible to pick up roadkill for free and anywhere in Kenosha for 365 days of the year.
Talk about beating a dead horse.
Dead horses.
It always goes back to roadkill with you. What the hell?
Because I have lots of Pete and I live. There's roadkill every day, fresh stuff too.
Now, how many? Here's a question.
It came pre-splattered today.
Here's a question.
I noticed, yeah.
How many major streets will be tied up all at one time this summer when they do all this road construction?
I know 7.
Well, that's all people do is complain about roads. So now they get what they want.
All right, they're going to complete
congestion.
39th Avenue from Washington to 45th Street, 39th Avenue from 45th to just north of 52nd, 45th Street from 39th to 40th, 85th on the south side from 22nd to 30th, 7th Avenue down by you, Ronnie, from 68th to 70th. That whole thing is only going to do 2 blocks.
They're just doing 2 blocks?
7th Avenue from 68th Street to 70th Street. That can't be right. That's 2 blocks.
Well, maybe they're replacing some sewer or something, yeah.
26th Avenue from 75th to Roseland.
Yeah, they're doing 26th Avenue. I think they're resurfacing 2016 as 30th Avenue is what I was told. But what they got to really take a look at, drive down 73rd Street in my neck of the woods from 30th Avenue to 22nd Avenue. Potholes are the size of craters, for heaven's sakes.
Well, what we talked about, the potholes, I can't believe the Kenosha News actually found it in their time, wisdom, to run a pothole contest. But why didn't we enter the pothole contest? Just because we got clipped on, we didn't win the Valentine's Day.
Wow, we really don't have a lot to talk about today.
Well, anyway, what I was starting to talk about was the elections, and the school board election was very uneventful. I mean, as in past years when they had a lot of big time money being spent, and the budget's $300 million, and we only have one new.
Well, they got a new face on there, right?
Mike, how do you pronounce that, Pete?
Vakovsky, I believe.
Yes.
He's replacing Carl Bryant, who moved out of the area.
Right.
His name was still on the ballot, though. It was they couldn't
late.
take it out.
Yeah.
Too late.
He almost won.
What bothers me is that there was about 3,000 people who still voted for Kyle Bryant. So they came out to vote. God love them. But they didn't know enough to know that one of the candidates was not actually running.
Yeah. I keep telling you, my theory on voting is, first of all, I think it's everybody's duty to vote. But for the uneducated voter, stay home. If you don't know what the heck you're voting for, stay home. I don't want you to vote.
Well, that's, what's worse, not voting or voting for somebody that you don't have any knowledge about?
And nationally, of course, you've got Hillary coming out tomorrow. She'll announce her candidacy.
Oh, is she really?
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Nothing like doing it on a Sunday.
Yeah. I think that I don't.
Or everybody's paying attention.
I
to
just
politics.
don't think she resonates with the voters. She's too old, too chunky, and wears pantsuits. And
Rand Paul is.
Yeah, I just.
Yeah, he's old. He's not as chunky, but
I got to tell you, you're gonna have Hillary Clinton, and you're gonna have
that's Scott Barter at.
Right.
Send your hate mail, ladies.
Yeah. And you've got Jeb Bush will be on the Republican side. He'll come out.
I disagree.
You think how many million people are in this country? 300 million.
You know who's going to announce
300 million people, and you can't
counting.
come up with 2 different families to run for national office besides
Jeb Bush
Clinton
has not
or
announced that
Bush?
he's running.
He'll run.
Here's who's. I just heard that on CNN yesterday. Marco Rubio is going to announce next week.
Yeah,
he will. If the Republican Party, in my view, I think he would appeal to the voters. Jeb Bush.
Well, and of course they claim that Scott Walker hasn't made a decision, but of course he'll run. Well, yeah, I think he's going to. I think he'll do well. Unfortunately, in some of the caucuses and early primaries, because the people that come out to, like in Iowa, the caucuses are all just very, very Republican and very, very conservative, and he resonates with that. So he may win a couple of primaries on the front end, but I don't think he's going to be able to go.
But if the Republicans have any hopes to defeat the Democrats, Marco Rubio is going to appeal to the inner cities and all those people. What do you think they'd raise the minimum wage for to appeal to that? What do you think? They did all of these things, and Obama has been there 8 years, and he's kind of aligned the next election. Now the Democrats, other than Hillary, they're going to come up with somebody too.
Well,
anybody
who ever listens to Rush Limbaugh, he claims that there are no moderates. You're either a conservative or a liberal. There's nothing in the middle. But I got to tell you, I think 80% of the country are moderates in the middle, because I look at some of these Republican candidates who are, in my mind, whack jobs. And likewise in the Democratic Party, you got people so darn liberal and to the left. I mean, I think they're whack jobs as well. I'm one of the 80% in the middle, where I just use common sense. I vote the candidate. I'm gun control. I'm right in the middle on all of these issues. It's not anything, it's not a Republican. And I don't think there's a party out there that represents guys like you and I, or at least me.
The only party to represent me is my bartender down at Devoto's. Can you imagine? We just had an intelligent conversation for 2 minutes on national politics.
Yeah,
save
boy,
it for
boring?
Tuesday.
Was that boring?
Save it for Tuesday.
Good morning on Kenosha Today.
Morning, men.
Morning, that's us.
Yep. If Hillary's going to run, I just wonder if you guys may have the answer.
Who's going to run?
If Hillary decides to run, is Bill a plus or a minus?
Well, first of all, Hillary is announcing tomorrow. She is She is throwing her hat in the ring. But
good, then is Bill a plus or a minus?
Well, I think he whether you like Bill Clinton or not, he spoke to you and he resonated with the public. I don't think Hillary and this morning on Fox News they were even evaluating some of the speeches that she would make. She doesn't look directly in the camera. She looks up to the left, up to the right. She doesn't ever make eye contact with the camera. And she just doesn't present herself. Her presentation just doesn't resonate with people.
But to answer his question, I think Bill Clinton, because he's got some appeal still, I think he resonates.
Well, he's one of the most popular former presidents that there is.
I don't get it. If I would have committed the stuff, the adulterous stuff he would have done and some of the other things, my wife would either castrated me or I'd have been in prison, and everyone's enamored with the guy.
Yeah,
I can't figure it out. I guess it's, what makes him look good is what makes the other party look good. There's nobody running.
But look what he did. Look what his administration did. He ran as a Democrat, but by the end of his 8th year, he was more in the middle than just about any other president that there has been.
And not only that, he was signing more and bouncing more checks than Ronald Reagan was.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
So, it'll be interesting. All right, thanks for the call. Yeah.
You bet.
Good morning, you're on Kenosha Today.
Let's not.
Okay. Should we take a break?
Let's do that.
You know what, Scott? I'm gonna have to excuse myself, but I look forward to seeing you all on Tuesday morning. It'll be
and turn the fan on in the bathroom on your way out, will you?
I need to go to attend to some business, but again,
save
I'd like
something.
To say
save something.
Very sincere.
Yes.
Very heartfelt. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Pete.
Bye, Steve.
Bye,
Stevie.
I got to go home and put my house numbers up.
For the big fire that's going to happen later tonight. Huh? All right, we're going to take one break, our last break, and we'll be right back. That's it. Good morning. If you just arrived on the trolley, this is Kenosha Today Weekly Report coming to you live from here on WLIP AM 1050. Brought to you by the Boathouse Pub and Eatery, Casey Family Options, and a host of many other very fine local businesses. I'm Uncle Scotty Barter, along with the big dog, little Stevie Casey, video coordinator Captain Ronnie Mottersbach, and the ever-lovable Pistol Pete Surgeon joins us after for our final 30 minutes of this morning's therapy session. As we head down the home stretch, we're going to talk a little sports or anything else. Give us a call, 262-694-1050. I'd like to hear maybe somebody's comments on the Badger game last Monday night Everybody seems to think that they had some bad calls go against them. Was it worth it? Or actually, I thought they played extremely well. It was a good game, and yeah, you always want the calls to go your way, but unfortunately, it didn't work out. I see in the paper today, and it was announced yesterday, that Sam Decker is going to enter the NBA draft, and at first that kind of took me by surprise, but I guess in his, not defense, but I would think, well, my big guy, Frank Kaminsky's gone. I don't have a lot of surrounding characters with me anymore. I might as well go off and make some money when I can. He's a very talented player, and I think he'll probably have to play guard at 6'9", but that's right, I think. And then, speaking about going to the NBA, Kentucky's top 7 scorers are off to the NBA, and you know what? If that doesn't work out, they're also looking for greeters at our new dinosaur museum. So,
well, you know what? It creates more salary cap for Kentucky, more space.
Good morning. You're on Kenosha Today.
Hey guys, Mike Bjorn. How you doing?
From downtown Wilderness.
Downtown Mike.
Fabulous downtown Wilderness. Hey, I just got my latest cable bill, and it's up to $113.08. Now I just paid last month, and it was at $105.16. And of course, there's this thing here. It says credits and one-time charges $7.50. I swear I see that every month. It's a one-time only, but it comes every month.
Call in and fight it.
Yeah.
You know, I used to say that when cable hit $100 a month, that was it. And of course, I don't get HBO or any of the premium stuff. But I mean, where does it end? And just, you know, I'm crying in the wilderness, shall we say, but yours is the right show to do it. Oh, and incidentally, the only place to put the extension or the year-round situation for the Harper Market down here would be across some trolley dogs. I know you've mentioned that several times, but of course, if it was there by trolley dogs, that would kind of help the downtown, the rest of the downtown district. And for some reason, it seems from the start of this, we tried to keep it as far away from helping the downtown district, the retail district, Main Street, and 7th Avenue as well. And so I don't think anything's really going to change.
I agree.
We'll see.
I think that's an excellent place for it. And if they wanted to package the AMC museum, the car museum there, or put it over by the old Chrysler site, either one of those two would be fine.
You know what's not been brought up, and I'm amazed that they're not talking about the Bonnie Hames site along with the Chrysler site. The Bonnie Hames site is going on 5 decades of nothing really happening on it, and I sincerely hope the Chrysler site doesn't match that track record.
But Mike, I think the Chrysler site is.
We've had empty buildings falling apart for over 2 decades.
Mike, you need some lead time. You got some lead time. You know, by the way, speaking of lead time, you know, Steve and I called back in January to have the snow removed from 6th Avenue. How'd that work out?
I got to thank you guys. It's just about all gone by now, and I got to thank you for your help as usual. I know you've pulled some strings for us down here before, and it's always much appreciated.
There you go.
Okay, dudes, have a good time.
Maybe we'll see you at the afternoon conference.
Well, not necessarily. You know, I'm having some problems.
Yeah, but that problem won't be there today.
Oh, that's different. Then I don't have a problem.
Right, later.
Okay, I'll see you.
I got to read it.
Mike had to say about the cable bill.
Yeah, go ahead.
I've been on antenna for a while, and you know I get more channels than I deem necessary. It's fine with me. The sad part about it, there's people in our government that are pandering to the lobbyists that want to get rid of free TV. So, you know, it's a sad situation, but you know how our government works. So, I got the other thing that I'd like to say that I like what he had to say is that the Bonnie Haines site has been there over 5 decades. Jesus, you know, now we got another one right next to it. What are we going to do about that?
Well, I got 2 questions for you. I think that the Bonnie Haines site is owned by a private developer or something, whereas the city. The Chrysler site is now owned by the city, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but it obviously does. So.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know who owned it.
You know what? There was a time Mark Newman, you know, the house builder out of Janesville, had proposed a residential deal in there, and the city was going to make him, instead of having it normal grid, you know, in the streets and the avenues, we're going to make him cul-de-sac everything, and he was going to lose space, so he told the city of Kenosha that he was not interested versus, you know, just taking a straight north and south, east and west. You start putting cul-de-sacs in that, and these weren't going to be the biggest houses, but that was one of the better plans I've seen for that part. Go ahead.
I like what Mike had to say. It was interesting, and it really, I have an antenna now. I think a lot more people are moving in that direction. I really do.
What do you think ought to go on the Chrysler site?
That's a tough one because I think about it, and then it's like, geez, we got how many parks in Kenosha already? I don't know if a park is suitable, but
probably not. But
what about a sandwich shop?
Yeah.
A donut place that delivers. Yeah.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, have a good day.
Okay, thanks. Good morning on Kenosha Today.
Yeah.
Yes.
This Chrysler site they're talking about?
Yes.
Okay. You got to remember one thing.
Okay.
Under that concrete, there's every conceivable type of cleaning fluid, oils, greases, and everything else on the seat. Underneath, they'll have to tear up that concrete, burn all the ground that's under the concrete before they can do anything.
You are correct, and I heard the estimated, if they did it all, was $30 million, of which
I know
the feds
because
are-
I was a supervisor over there. I know what went under the ground.
Well, how did that happen? You guys just kind of put it down the sewer system or the drains, and nobody cared?
Tanks leaked,
Oh,
ran over, oil tanks leaked, drained into the ground.
yeah, it's not going to
So
be
it's cleaning fluids, oils, degreasers, you name it. It's mixed into that ground.
Yeah, that's going to...
All over the whole place.
So, should we be blaming you? I'm kidding.
No, they're not blaming me.
I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm joking.
I know.
Send us a check for $30 million. We'll call it a day.
You won't get a nickel out of me.
All right. Thank you. All right. As long as you had, what do you think we ought to put there then? Do you have any
I don't
idea?
care what they put there, but they got to clean it up first.
Yeah.
And after they get it cleaned up and all the ground is normal again, all the oils and stuff is out of it, then they can start talking about what they want to put in there.
That's a good point. It's going to be a lot of years, at least
Oh, yeah.
5
It's
minimum.
going to be like the Bonnie Hames stuff.
No, I got to hope it's not that long. But
So do I.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you very much for your call and your comments. Yeah, it's going to be a long haul, and right in the middle of the city too. But again, I just hope that the Urban Land Institute and these other, when they have these meetings to hear people's input. One of the things when Juliana was here last week, whatever they put, it's going to increase the traffic on 52nd Street. It cannot help but do that. And so they're also, at the same time, in my view, probably have to address that traffic and either add a third lane on each side or, like in some cases, and they did it down here on Sheridan Road, where they just put the barrier down the middle and eliminated left-hand turns until you get to a major intersection. That'll keep the traffic flowing because people will attest if you're going to turn left on some of the middle streets there, traffic backs up 15 cars. Do we have a caller? Good morning. You're on Kenosha Today.
Hey, gentlemen, how you doing?
Very good. Who's this?
This is Steve from Kenosha.
Okay, Steve, go ahead.
Hey, you guys were, first of all, you're awfully mean to Mr. Casey, but...
Says who?
No, but you guys are talking about the Chrysler site. I agree that, the Urban Land Institute coming in and taking a look at it and getting ideas, we really need to bring something on that site that generates people to go there. Now, and that brings traffic in, and they have to look at, in my opinion, the whole area, including the Bonnie Hames site, and perhaps even consider some of the area around the brass. If you look at the city from Google Maps, and you can see these big open plots that are there in the site that are available. You can't put a convention center there unless you clean up your front door. You have to have 60th Street and 52nd Street as presentable avenues and invitations to your town, to your city. Now, there is very little in this area for any type of moderate or modest-sized convention display areas and things like that. Almost anything that comes to the town goes to the UAW Local 72, which, not that there's a problem there, but that's certainly not a convention center. It would be nice to see something with some real guts, somebody, with taking some risk and coming up with a grand plan, a real plan that would make this a destination. I've often thought that the downtown area, with all of the treasures of theaters we have in the area, could really be made a destination if it was looked at with a holistic approach.
Suppose I brought this up last week, hypothetical, that to save a outdoor theater that they use some of that in that location and maybe package it with the AMC Museum, bringing people in, and if it was the theater, I don't think you even have to take the cement off and clean up that portion, just seal up the cracks, but the other stuff you would. Your thoughts on that or something else?
Well, I thought it was, the city was really quite remiss in not, they took an 8-year-old factory, the new building, not the old one that was 100 years old, but the 8-year-old section, instead of trying to market it to a Harley Davidson or a Case or some company that wants to actually come in and manufacture something that was on the east end of that site, we lost that possibility. We gave the scrapping company took all of the recyclables away and left everything behind that has no value and total cost to get rid of. And then the city went in there and cut all those trees down off of that was really actually fairly nicely landscaped, that berm on 52nd Street there and 30th Avenue.
I still can't.
All the way down there.
Yeah. I still can't.
And then they went, they spent all the money to cut those trees down so we can look at the bare concrete for the next 8 years while they're deciding to do that. Whose idea was that?
I have no idea. I've asked, and nobody can give me an answer. I thought that was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. That was a nice berm, and they said, well, you had to cut it down because of the contamination. Those trees were growing.
The
right?
trees were growing, and guess what? The contamination is still there. So
it's way down there, yeah.
Until you're ready to actually deal with what's underneath it, what on earth was the problem of having a nice green space to look at?
I concur.
That's one that gives you the arthritic neck because you're shaking your head so much.
I'll tell you what, I got to run and take another call, and I promise you I'll be very sweet to Steve Casey.
Okay.
As best I can. As best I can.
All right, gentlemen. Have a good day.
All right. Good morning on Kenosha Today.
Hey, will you take a second call?
Sure, go ahead.
Alderman Anthony Kennedy, 10th District Alderman. How are you today?
So now, when Casey's not here, now he identifies
So
himself.
you're calling as in your aldermanic capacity this time to be.
Yes.
So we know.
Okay.
Okay.
Listen, I am tired of you people going on and on about the Chrysler site. Get it straight, gentlemen. We did try to market the new building, and nobody wanted it. We had one Chinese manufacturer come in, take a look at it, and pass. We tried to market that site with the old Carco, which was the last remaining old Chrysler group that went into bankruptcy. Okay? The reason we had to tear it all down is because if we took anything and kept it on that site, and I think Alderman Giuliani's talked about this last week, and I keep saying this. I say it on the Lenny Palmer Show. I say it on Lip Off. I say it on television. I say it here. If we had taken any of that site, the city of Kenosha would be on the hook for the whole cleanup of that site. We didn't set the laws on that. We didn't set the rules on that, but we had to adhere to them. So any narrative about we lost a chance to sell it or any bickering among the council, lost Chrysler, all of that is BS, guys. It is BS, butterscotch. It is not what happened. The Chrysler
Hey, don't
site is
sugarcoat it,
actually
Anthony.
a success story. Let me finish.
Okay.
It's actually a success story because in all of the Chrysler bankruptcy proceedings, there's no other community that got money out of the old group to clean up. We got $10 million out of the old group. You go to some of these other sites in Michigan, you go to some of these other places, they don't have bupkis, nothing. So we got some money out of there. We got another $10 million from the state of Wisconsin. So we got $20 million in the bank. We think it's going to cost us $30. We're depending on what the Urban Land Institute. There's three, and I keep telling you people this. There's 3 levels of cleanup. There's a commercial, a residential, and an industrial. Industrial being the cheapest, residential being the most expensive, and we're shooting for a commercial cleanup. We think it's about $30 million. You guys see the Chrysler site, and I know it's 100 years of manufacturing in this city. I understand we can probably have a good claim as the birthplace of auto manufacturing, at least in the Midwest. I understand all of that, but you have to understand the reality we were dealing with in that particular time.
Okay,
we
Anthony,
had to take it in the way we took it.
Okay, now I'm going to have to let you go, but I want to say one thing. I appreciate you calling and telling us the facts. Here's the problem: we don't know what the facts are. It's yours.
I'm telling you the facts. But
I
here's the other
understand
thing.
that,
I can
Anthony.
give you names. I can give you names of people who come to your show, good people, lawyers in Wisconsin, in Milwaukee, our contact with DNR person in Madison, and they will lay it out to you. I have offered this all over and over again to you media people, and you decided you just want to stick to your narrative. As far as the trees are concerned, we all knew that those trees had to come down, and it's part of the remediation of that site. Yes, those trees are growing, but if you understand about and granted, I don't understand all of this, all right? And I'll be the first one to tell you this. I'm not a brown site redevelopment expert, okay? I'm just a guy who got some people to vote for him a couple of times in a row and got elected, okay?
Hurry it up, Anthony. I got to get going here.
So that was part of the remediation. Even though those trees were growing, they're taking the contaminants out of the soil, but they are in the trees, and it's going to be part of the remediation.
Okay.
Why did it have to happen now? I can get you an answer on that.
All right. Call me back on Tuesday.
Good day, my friend.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. Good morning. You're on Kenosha Today.
This is Joe from Kenosha.
Go ahead, Joe.
Anthony, he's my alderman. He's a great guy.
Okay.
But anyway, I think that they should have the Chrysler site have a Chrysler, AMC, and Renault museum, and the one from Chrysler closed about a year and a half ago in Auburn Hills.
Okay.
And they still have all the cars inside the building because I belong to the Walter B. Chrysler Club.
Okay.
And they let us go in there because we had our national meet out there in the Detroit area. And it would be a feather for in the camp of Kenosha to have a beautiful museum built right there at that Chrysler site. After all, it was AMC and Renault, and then Chrysler, Fiat Chrysler.
Okay.
Maybe they can help us develop the land and clean it up.
Why did the thing close in Auburn?
Well, I guess Fiat didn't want to invest the money anymore.
Oh, okay.
And the year before they closed the gift shop.
Okay.
But it's a beautiful. They have not just antique, Chryslers, but they have race cars that and muscle cars that were the most famous ones that
Sure.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea. I appreciate your call. Thank you.
All right. Have a great day.
You too. All right. Good morning. You're on Kenosha Today.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Scott.
Pat.
Hey.
We're out of time.
Yeah, right now you're out of time.
Just kidding. Go ahead.
Bring your headphones. Are we on the air now?
Yeah, so be careful. Don't say anything goofy.
No, I wouldn't follow in your footsteps. Why would I want to do that? It's for your thunder.
Yeah.
What about Casey don't show today and you don't call me?
No, he was here. He just left about 20 minutes ago. He had to go to work.
Oh, is that a plus for your show now?
Well,
the ratings have been through the roof.
Some guy called me and told me I was picking on him. Can you imagine that?
Oh my God, Casey. No, reason why I'm calling, I happened to just catch Anthony.
Yeah.
Now Anthony basically pretty much went in depth on what I've been highlighting. And you're one caller that had concerns about the landscaping on the south side of 52nd Street between 30th and 26th.
Yeah.
That decision there, people have to understand, especially your callers, Scott, is that the DNR and the EPA are working in conjunction now, with the city on the overall cleanup. And your other caller about the ground contamination, they've been putting in monitoring wells, they've been putting in vent pipes, and they're working on it. And that whole complete 109 acres, and some spots are really contaminated, other spots are minimal. So like I say, this is something that overall I'm probably looking at 3 to 5 years before we get close to being even shovel ready. And some people had questioned, why are we working with ULI now? Well, we're trying to get ahead of the curve. We're trying to be proactive. ULI is a worldwide company. They're not political. They will take all of the ideas that have been coming forward and the ones that are still in the process of coming forward, and they will look at them, and then they will turn around and they'll check all the demographics based on the proposed utilizations and then make a decision.
Well, see, this is some of the things that I appreciate you calling, and I appreciate Anthony Kennedy's, because quite frankly, nobody knows what's going on. And I think if there's any criticism, the city doesn't really have a good PR plan, because people are sitting thinking, well, and the guy had a great question. Why didn't we try to market the newer building? Why didn't we do this? And we need people like you to tell us.
The thing is, if, people would have come forward, and I think some people have come forward because they've had addressed that question to me. And the thing is, through this gets all the way back to the bankruptcy, old Carco, and the liability coming forward. If the city would have retained any of the structures on the property, okay,